Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Empowered Living Network Team Huddle webinar. Very excited to have you here tonight. My name is Stacy Wallace, and it is my absolute joy and privilege to be your host on these incredible Huddle webinars where we are able to take some of the latest updates, news, training tips, be able to bring them to you live every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific. Great emails this week of people saying, Stacy, can you tell us what time zone that is for us? So here's what it is, and you might want to write this down. When it's Pacific, obviously if you're on here, you know this, but I want you to write it down because I get this every week. It's 7 p.m. Pacific, which is 9 p.m. Central, which is 10 p.m. Eastern. So I'm glad you guys are all doing the math on that. I'm very thrilled tonight. Had a really special day today. You know, Sundays are my Sabbath with my family, and we try to take off. I try to avoid calls at all costs. Some of you guys are getting texts through to me, but I truly like to focus on the family, and today was a very special day that our church was having its 20th anniversary, and so they've packed out this big stadium, and just incredible time of unity, of vision. The whole event was called a vision presentation. And I thought that was very unique, especially where we are right now with Solavei. And I watched as this church of people they meet all over in campuses all over, but they all came together to look back at how they got where they were. And as I was sitting there, I was so inspired because they talked about how many times it felt like quitting, and some years how difficult it was over the last 20 years. But they used it, and I don't usually do this on a team huddle call, but it just so inspired me. They talked about a Proverbs, which was words of wisdom out of the Bible. And in one scripture, it said, Proverbs 29:18 said, if people can't see what God's up to, then they stumble all over themselves. But when they attend to what he reveals, they're most blessed. And that just struck me. I know this isn't a preachy call or anything, but it struck me that if you miss the bigger picture of what's happening with Solavei, you'll probably get hung up in the weeds, the details of what's going on. But when you can keep your eyes on the big vision, that's why we talk about the revolution. That's why we talk about the hope that we're bringing. If you can keep your eyes on the big picture of where we're going to be 10 years from now, I really believe you're going to be most blessed. So that's my little tidbit of the night. It really inspired me today, and I hope that inspires you as well. Tonight we've got some exciting news to talk about Solavei. But for those of you who are brand new with us, you're just tapping in for the first time, first I want to let you know why Solavei. Why is this such an exciting thing to thousands upon tens of thousands of people? It's not just the fact that we offer 4G unlimited talk, text, data for $49 a month. It's not just that you can get it free with something called 3 trios, which is just 9 people. You can get your cell service paid for every single month. For most people, being able to take the cell bill off their monthly budget could totally change the economics of their home. No contracts means that you have freedom once and for all, a residual income, an opportunity for you to do something incredible for your family. You know, one of the reasons why we're starting with mobile services is because it's the one thing that people already spend every single day, and it's one of the biggest overspending items. The average family spending over $71 per month per phone on their phones. And so our mission is to make commerce less expensive and even profitable. And we're starting with the mobile phone. And for those of you who want to make more than $1 billion, meaning it's not all about money, you want an opportunity to give back. Well, Solavei is all about changing the lives of others and giving us an opportunity to connect with people we may otherwise never connect with, so that together, instead of building $1 billion company, Solavei is about putting $1 billion back into the hands of the people. And to think that you could be a part of helping others in that way, it's truly tremendous. Of course, you can work anywhere, and we also know that social commerce is coming. This is a little slide that you see there on the screen. The future of Solavei. This is what was shown while we were at our national launch here in Bellevue just a week ago. And when we saw this slide, we all lit up because we realized that right now, yes, we're all starting with mobile, but there's so much more to come that we have to look forward to, and that truly is going to create a massive economic shift in the lives of a lot of people. So tonight we're very excited to be able to take you on a journey of a little bit more about Solavei. And I want to tell you something about this Team Huddle webinar. Recently we had the opportunity of the top 10 achievers to come together in the company. We all sat down with each other and we all agreed, all of those that were in the room, I think there were a couple that were missing, but we all agreed that we want to come together. Instead of having my calls and their calls and your calls and my system and their system, we want to come together and we want to create a team for Solavei, a voice. Because for all of us that were actually on that call, we all said this isn't just about a business to us. This is about an opportunity that we've all believed that a day would come when something would hit our country and our industry that would truly be able to make a difference in the lives of a lot of people and do something that's never been done before. So I want to welcome all of you to tonight's call. I know we're all coming together, and so there's folks that are a part of my network. There's folks that are a part of Gary Craig's and James Linhart and Rob McFadden, and we just want to welcome all of you to the call tonight and the webinar tonight and let you know that we truly want to see this become a place of recognition, a place of updates, that we recognize that we're all one family working together, one cause. And I really believe that is the power of one when you can unify. So let's jump in and let's talk about what's hot this week. First off, I think you probably want to go and take a look at your support link. Those of you, solavei.com / your username, or just solavei.com even, and go and log in. When you log in, you're going to see a support tab. And click on that support tab. That's a quick link to it at support.solavei.com. You're going to have to log in if you want to be able to post anything, but support.solavei.com, that's going to give you what you're about to see right here. And the first thing I want you all to take note of is go make sure every week to get the Solavei Scoop. That's the newsletter every week. It's going to give you links. It's going to give you phone numbers. It's going to give you information, videos that you'll want to tap into. So the new Solavei Scoop is up. You're also going to be able to see a lot of great information on how to build your business. Of course, on the Solavei Scoop is the new Outreach Manager tutorial by Jim Ryan. And for those of you who are really wanting to know how to use that tool, be sure you go to the Solavei Scoop, and you'll be able to see that right there. Member support tools. You'll see on the right there, you'll see some tools like Equipment Phone Support Center, the iPhone support. All of those, again, are back there in your member support items, your member tools. You're going to be able to go into that same support section and get all of those items. Another thing, let me bounce back there for just a second. Let me talk about member support for just a second. And I've got something pulled up here that I want to share with you. I was asking, I talked just a few minutes ago to Rudy, who is partners with Maria, who is head of member experience. The two of them every week, they've been a part of our webinars. I know Maria is flying back from Hawaii right now, and Rudy is out with his family, and he called and he said, I can be on your webinar. And I said, Rudy, you know what? You be with your family. We got this week. And so, but what they did share with me is really exciting news, and I think it's important for all of us just to inhale this. There is so many advancements that's happened over the course of the last 2 weeks that are propelling us in the area of member support. And I know many of you, the first 2 weeks, some of you got caught up into the frenzy of what it was like to be one of the 27,000 people that loaded in the first 2 weeks. Needless to say, it was massive stress we put upon our new member support team, most and many of them which came from years of experience in other mobile carrier services. But what we do is so different, so we immediately put major stress upon that system, and it was great because we saw the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, they always say, you know what's on the inside of a person because they're like a tea bag. You know what they're really made of when they're in hot water. Well, what I love about Maria and Rudy and Jolene and our entire team, Linda Berry, is they are so incredible under that pressure that they continue to improve and continue to put people in place. Now, great news is I believe it's about 100 new people are being added, and as of last week, the hold queue was completely empty. So we actually had people, now our wait time is down to 18 minutes, which is phenomenal. And even people, certain times during the week, we're seeing a 2-minute and a 1-minute wait period on member support. So we are seeing those numbers come down. I love what Garrett White said. Garrett J. White, who is one of our top leaders, he said, you know what? Here's what I want people to know. Technology will always improve. Don't let technology slow you down. So I love that, and it's true. We're always going to get better. But here is another great report that came in from Ryan Wirch, our CEO. He said, we have 28,000+ members, and every day, this was a response he gave to someone that had a activation issue. And he said 28,000 members, and we're working hard. And now we only have 700 outstanding Tier 2 and Tier 3 issues out of 27,000 members. So if you can imagine that, we did have thousands, and then we had 1,500. Now we're down to 700. You may be one of those that are in the 700 still waiting for something to be done. You may have gotten caught up in that first 2 weeks of major excitement. The great news is it's coming. You're getting relieved, and this system is being perfected every single day. So I'm just very thankful, and I just had to take a break for just a second and show some gratitude to the member support team that is constantly flying back and forth, working on making our user experience better and better. So weekly hot topics, you're also going to be able to go into your support tab and see some hot topics, and then, of course, your new Hawaii qualifiers. Let's just bounce off that for just a second, and let's talk about Hawaii. Because we've got a new qualification that's been added to Hawaii. And when I was having a talk with Ryan, our CEO, he said not only does he want to see the people, which we're so excited about, all the people that have already qualified for Hawaii, but there's a lot of people right now that have been coming into Solavei that had nothing to do with our pre-launch. And there was some pressure being put on by people by saying, hey, what if we perform? I mean, obviously we may not be able to 1,000 people or 750 people, but is there a way that we can make it to Hawaii? And so I love the fact that this company is always about giving and making sure that it's fair and profitable for all. So they laid down another challenge, and it's that one down there in the aqua blue, the new launch qualification. If you get 30 personal trios, and 4 of those being ones that you brought in yourself, so that's basically you go out and get your full fab, get 12 people. And then between you and those 12 people, if you guys can get 30 personal trios, you're going to get to go to Hawaii. You'll get 6 days and 5 nights at the Grand Wailea and a flight for 1. So I love the fact that that's going to give people an opportunity who are coming on right now to be able – now that's not going to be a walk. Let me just tell you, that's not an easy qualification. So if anybody hypes you up saying everybody's going to be able to get, that's not true. That's going to be people who are ready to take a sprint, meaning you're going to take the next 30 days and you are going to take all-out massive action in order to get there. You want to be able to be talking to people every day and have your people talking to people every day. We're going to talk in a few minutes about a massive action plan that's going to help you produce those kinds of numbers. So, of course, the other qualifications are there on the screen as well. Those have been the same ones that we've been talking about for the past number of weeks. So let's do a quick look at the standings and let's bring some recognition. Look at the left and the middle sections first. You'll see if you go back up here, yellow means they're getting 6 days and 5 nights of hotel at the Grand Wailea. The orange is that they're getting hotel and airfare, and then the purple is that they're getting the spa package, golf, 7 days, flights, they're getting the Grand Puba excellent treatment while they're out there. So if you can see that, we've already got people ranking. I think we're going to have a lot of people in that purple zone by the end of the next month. But here's what's exciting about this. What I love the left 2 columns. It's exciting. Carrie Mortensen, Jerry Foster, Nathan Gooden, Jose Miranda, Roxana Hanna, Donna Wirch, Ron Lewis, Gary Craig, Eric Green. I love all the names that we're seeing in there. Tom McMurrin, Danny Chambers, a big shout out to James Linhart. Love all the names that we're seeing there. Love seeing my name there. That excites me too. But here's what I really like. Look at that right-hand side column. Those are people that are making it happen right now. And I can honestly tell you, I don't know most of those people. And that excites me because that's new people coming on with Solavei every single day, getting their trios and doing the deal to make it happen. So I just want to say a big congratulations to all of you who are on your way already to Hawaii and those of you who are making it happen to get there. So those are our new Hawaii qualifiers. Congratulations, and arriba, arriba, andale, andale to those of you who aren't colored out there. We want to get you in those color zones. So the sixth thing that's hot, that is the hot topic of the week, is the I Am Solavei tour. Most of you should have already seen the video. You can see it, of course, through solavei.com. You can see it on the Solavei YouTube channel. You can see it on empoweredliving.biz. But you definitely want to check out that video. Personally, in my personal opinion, that and the 6-minute video of What is Solavei are the two best videos that we have. I love them. I love the passion and the message that we're conveying through that I Am Solavei video. So here's the scoop on the I Am Solavei tour. We already know Tulsa, Oklahoma is going to be the first stop, October 12th and 13th. Now, for those of you who aren't from Oklahoma, just hold on a second, because those of you who are from Oklahoma, you know that the 13th is a very big day for us. That is the Oklahoma-Texas showdown. And I was born in Texas, raised in Oklahoma, so I'm a little split, but I got to tell you, I'm such a big Sooner OU fan. And so we're going to be able to have a big party there on the 13th. We're going to have a watch party. On the 12th, we are going to have a live vision presentation with CEO Ryan Wirch. It's going to be a mini version of what we had here at the launch September 21, and we truly are going to take that around the nation. And then on the 13th, there's going to be some training, equipping, getting people what they need in order to get up and take massive action in developing their business and sharing Solavei with the people that are around them. Now, I'm going to give you a bit of unofficial news, and they've asked me to please explain that this is currently where we're at on the rest of the tour, but still we're locking in venues. So these dates might change. So please do not cancel weddings or cancel engagement parties for these dates, but I'm going to give you some potential dates, unofficial dates still to be confirmed. Puerto Rico, October 20th, and you guys can see Raleigh, October 22nd, New Jersey, October 24th, Tampa, October 26th or 27th, Austin, November 12th. These are some of the dates that we're working on right now to confirm for the I Am Solavei tour. I know you're like me. I've been wanting, just give us an idea of when we might be able to expect you. So they're still trying to confirm the venues of where those will be at, but that kind of gives you a snapshot of the I Am Solavei tour. Now, Jim Ryan today, I try to not tax these guys every single week. They've been on our calls week after week after week, and so we're going to continue to have them. But this week I just felt it was very important after our launch that we give these guys a break and not put them on one more call. So what I asked Jim to do is just give me a couple bullet points that I could share on his behalf tonight, and specifically as it relates to what we see as far as structuring of the back office for those of us who are members promoting Solavei. He says, number one, right now we're focusing on providing better granularity, which is basically visibility for people's personal network. They're going to detail level 1 personal connections and each of their connections, so basically your personal network. That's very important for those of us who are wanting to see what our people and people's people are doing, as well as be able to reward and provide recognition. We are also working on providing visibility to all those who have not, as of yet, activated their mobile service. I don't know about you, but I want people to get activated because it's important for me, it's important for you because they only count in a trio if they're activated. And it's important for them because duplication is king, and we want to make sure that they're leading with best business behaviors. He said we should have this in test next week and deployed shortly thereafter. That's great news. And then next, we will be working to add logic to the rest of Network View to provide greater visibility to the things that matter most. This stuff is still in early development phase. However, he says we are working hard to deliver it ASAP. Here's what I want you to think about, because I've been involved for 24 years in this industry, and one of my questions was, what's taking so long? And why don't we do it? What's happened with other companies? And I was quickly reminded that what we are doing and the compensation plan that we have and the type of pay structure, from fast action bonus to a two-tier affiliate system to a path pay to the path bonuses, the way we pay out with trios has never been done before. So there is not a Gen Con or a system or anything out there that can do what we're doing or track what we're tracking. Now, I will tell you that people from these companies have come into our company and said, we are going to do what you do. And I love the way Jim looked at them and said, well, you're going to have some patents that you're going to have to go through to do it. So what they're doing, though, is they are creating the tracking tools, the visibility systems all the way through, and boy, is it exciting. Number 4, additionally, we are working on a separate project over the next few months to increase granularity of what we report within my Solavei and on what goes on in everyone's earnings. So very exciting, and I really appreciate Jim Ryan for always being Johnny on the spot for us and giving us an update on how our product systems are coming together. So what I'd like to do now is talk to you quickly, and I'm getting ready to introduce you to a guest of ours that is going to be covering a hot topic that has been one of the #1 most requested items. How do we connect with people verbally? But before we do that, I want to tell you how exciting it has been this past week to work with the other leaders of the company in creating a roadmap, a system, a unified system. I recently was on a call, and I heard on this call they were saying, you know, you've got the advantage because you're a part of our team, and we're giving you an unfair advantage, and by being with us, you're going to be able to get free leads, and you're going to have the fastest growing network. And there were all these promises. It made my heart, honestly, I thought, you know what, I don't want anyone to feel that. Whether it's my calls or anything, I want you to know that there is no unfair advantage. No matter what team you're in, there is potential and profitability for all. And we are opening our arms wide open to everyone that's on this call. And that's why these teams are coming together to say, what can we do to create unity and a system? You know, if I've had 24 years of experience in the industry, and Gary Craig might have 20 years of experience, and then we might have James Linhart that might have 20 years of experience. Add all that up together, we have hundreds of years of experience at the head of this company. And we want to come together, and we want to put the best of the best tools together for you. So we have been scratching that out. There's going to be a little bit of an old school version, and then there's going to be some major new school tools added to it as well, because we've got things like the Outreach Manager, we've got our microsites, we've got blogging. We're going to train you on how to blog, how you get your own leads instead of having to buy leads. We're really, in fact, this week I had a great meeting with Mark Seamus and Garrett J. White and Jamie Jensen, those of you who are on this Thursday's webinar with Jamie Jensen, talking about increasing your SEO, how to blog, how to set up your microsite. It was off the hook. It was amazing, that call. And I have really great news for you. You've been sending in hundreds of requests to see that, and many of you know we had a few technical difficulties. So I made sure that we edited out the extra space that was in there due to technical difficulties, and it is now posted in empoweredliving.biz on the video tab, and it's also in our YouTube channel, youtube.com/empoweredlivingtv. So you can go to either of those two places, and you can check those out. Another thing that Garrett had shared with us is that he is going to be stepping in, helping us also record these, put them into a podcast format so that we can have an RSS feed, that you can be listening to these calls, that you can be listening to the training calls, the FAQ calls on Tuesdays. We want to make sure that you are never without access. So, of course, the huddle call is always posted there on empoweredliving.biz in the video channel. Those are places that you're just going to know. We're going to be posting it there. We're going to make sure that you have full access to the information. You know, I know that many of you have been able to watch the analytics of the analytics of these videos and how many of you are watching them, how many of you are playing them. It's very exciting to know that we are certainly seeing you consume the information that's being given out, and we want to make sure we give it to you every single day. So all of us leaders are coming together with literally hundreds of years of internet marketing. Just Mark Seamus, for example, being able to bring 17 years of internet experience to the team, and this week talking to us about SEO and how we can help folks truly be able to empower themselves with those microsites and landing pages and all of that. So again, a lot of team members coming together. The Massive Action Plan can be seen. I haven't even called it the Massive Action Plan yet because we're still got it under the What's Next tab on empoweredliving.biz. Y'all can take a look at it. It's just a printout. It's going to give you a lot of numbers to tap into. It's also going to give you a little bit of old school methods that one of the things that we have tried so hard to get away from because it sounds so direct sales-ish is the importance of making your list, for example. One of the things that I was talking to my mom earlier, many of you guys know that she's just been a rock star in the company, and she was like, oh, is there any way we can get away from that whole list terminology? And you know what? There's really not, because whether you're doing internet marketing or whether you're doing belly-to-belly marketing, whether you're doing new school or old school marketing, it comes down to lists. It comes down to people. And if I were really to be authentic with you and let you know what gave us the oomph to get such massive numbers, it's because when Ryan Wirch came to me and said, Stacy, I'm going to let you have 12 people, but only 12 people. He said it to Gary Craig. He said it to Nathan Gooden, Danny Chambers, all of the original 12. He said to each of us, you can only get 12 people. And those 12 people, you've got to make a commitment that they will get 12 who get 12. And so I took that so serious that it became contractual for me and my 12. I took time. I went through interviews with people that were my very best friends in the world. I didn't tell them that they had a slot in. I told them they would for sure be in by launch, but to be in my 12, I had to know that I knew that they were truly committed to birthing this revolution, that they were going to make a commitment that they would get 12 to get 12. You may be thinking, well, wow, that sounds really, really strict. Well, we knew that in order to birth something as massive as we're wanting to birth with Solavei, it was going to take some serious people in the foundation that we liked, loved, and trusted to be able to stick it out. So that list was real important. In fact, I had them give me resumes and pictures, and we did interviews, and I went through about 35 people to find my 12. And all 35 of them ended up, being able to be a part of Solavei, but it was the 12 that I found that I felt like I could do business with, that I could do the race with. So there's going to be some things in the Massive Action Plan that you're going to see are going to, some be old school, new school, but all of them, the reason why they're in there is because we've all agreed that they work, and they work well. So 3 things you're going to hear about: plugging in, creating a plan, and learning how to promote Solavei. Share it with others. We called it the 3 Ps because it's easy to remember. Tonight, in that promote section, if we go back there for just a second, promote, we know when we talk about plug-in, you're going to see a sheet, and you guys can download it right now at empoweredliving.biz. Click on the box that says what's next. Very soon it'll say Massive Action Plan. But right now you guys can download it. It's just a really rough version. We're testing it out, playing it around with you guys, and then we're going to be adding on other things for people who are wanting to maybe be a little bit more aggressive in their game plan. We've got those put together as well. But in plug-in, we just want you to plug into everything that's Solavei. We want to show you the phone numbers, the websites, the Facebook pages. Want to make sure you know who your sponsor is and your upline mentors. You're going to pick a couple of folks that you want to be mentored by. They may be people in your upline. They may be people you hear on these calls. You want to make sure when you're doing business that you align yourself. Alignment precedes assignment. Align yourself with people you want to emulate, and you're going to put them on that list. And the second thing is that we're going to show you how to create a 90-day action plan. It's very simple because really we've laid out the plan in our marketing plan for you. And we want everyone at a bare minimum. I understand that there's going to be folks that are on this call that you really want to do more than make $1,000 a month. But we believe the mission behind Solavei is to create millions of thousandaires. And if you're creating millions of thousandaires, a lot of people are going to make a lot of money in the process of that. So we realize some of you are going to be more hyper promoters, but we want everybody at a bare minimum in their first 90 days to say, I'm going to become a thousandaire. And of course, Solavei has laid that fruit low enough that it is achievable with only 20 network trios. So we want you to take a look at that. Of course, you can see the full compensation plan overview. I did that call last week. It went really well. We posted that as well in the youtube.com/Empowered Living TV. You can check that out, or you can see it on our Empowered Living empoweredliving.biz site as well. It's on our video page, so empoweredliving.biz. And see the full compensation plan overview, the new one that we just did. Okay, so in that plan, we're going to show you how 90 days to become a thousandaire, and then we're going to show you how to chunk that backwards. What do you have to do in order to make that happen? Well, in life coaching, we teach people how to set a big goal and then how to chunk it down into little pieces. You eat an elephant not in one bite. You eat it in small little bites, one at a time. So in 30 days, you're going to want to set a goal to get your full fab. These are the mile markers that you want to set. Now, yes, you get 60 days to get your fab, but if you set a goal to do it in your first 30, if for some reason you miss it, psychologically, it gives you another 30 days to ramp up and get it done. But we also want to make sure that we create the fast action movement in your first days. So you go 90 days, thousandaire, 30 days, you're going to go for that fab, and that your full fab, which is 12 people or 4 trios, and we're going to chunk it down again. What are you going to do in your first week? Well, if I had the lines open, you'd all be yelling out, Stacy, I'm going to go get a trio. So every week you want to think about getting a trio, at least 3 people who switch to Solavei services, and then chunk it backwards one more time. And in your first 24 hours of getting started, that's where we want you to begin to make that list of 12 to 24 people and begin identifying 12 serious, hungry, passionate people who are ready to start the revolution with you. And then that leads us to promote. And this is where we're going to bring on our special guest tonight, because in promote we have 3 things: connect, share, and enroll. The first thing we want you to do, and a lot of people think they can just go into Outreach Manager and just start sending out emails, or they can get on an opt-in list and take leads and just start sending them, popping them videos. And we really encourage you to have a more powered by relationships approach. It's really what's worked great for our network, and I think it'll work great for you. So one of the things in Connect is however you choose to connect, whether it's through internet marketing or a lead list, or whether you're doing it belly to belly, or whether you're picking up the phone and calling a friend. We want to make sure that you make that connection. Once you've made the connection, then you're going to move to share, and share one of our outreach tools that we have available in the Outreach Manager. And once they're ready to get started, you're going to go ahead and enroll them. Check their service, their coverage, then you're going to help them choose a device and go ahead and get started as a member. All of that is going to be in that massive action plan. What I want to do tonight is talk about connecting. And Gary, you have been such an incredible leader. You're always in the top leaderboard. You are you have so much experience in the area of internet marketing as well as network marketing, direct sales. And we were sitting around this week. I love that picture of you, by the way, on the screen, looking very dapper there in front of all the Solavei signs at the launch party. But there's always been a question that a lot of people ask after every call. They want to know, what do I say right out of the gate to engage a new member? And it could be that they're saying it on Facebook. It could be that they're saying it belly to belly. Maybe they see somebody at church, or maybe they see somebody at the store. And I just want you to take a few minutes here and run us through some things that would be real important for people to engage with. Now, I know that you had sent over a slide deck that didn't get to me and time for me to get it up here. So I'm going to actually pop out of this slide deck here and go ahead and go into where I have it in my Firefox. So I have you set up now, and we are going to be able to look at your slides. And can you see the screen? Okay. Well, everyone, please welcome to the webinar this evening somebody who has become a very dear friend of me, of mine, and my family's, and we really respect you, Gary, and we really appreciate what you're doing for Solavei and for so many people. So please welcome to the webinar, Gary Craig.
Thank you very much, Stacy. It's always a pleasure to speak with you, and of course, very exciting to be with you on this call tonight. You know, you're talking about some absolutely incredible and important topics. And inviting is arguably one of the most important skills that one can really learn in order to effectively engage and become successful in the process of building a large network distribution business. And you're looking at a photo here of me. This was on the 4th of July, which actually is my birthday. My mom, you know, it's her favorite day of the year, the 4th of July, and she just happened to bring me into this world on her favorite day.
That's great.
And those are 2 of my 5 children, my youngest babies, Hunter on the left and McKenna. McKenna just turned 19 years old today, and holy cow, they grow up fast. But I'm greatly blessed with 5 beautiful children and 5 grandchildren, and this is part of the reason why we do this business, guys, is to do something valuable for our family and our loved ones. So I wanted to pop that picture in there. The skill of inviting, I'm going to cover some very important topics very quickly. This is actually something that could be discussed for hours in a training, and over time we will have more extensive training on the skill and power of inviting. But what I wanted to do tonight in just a matter of 10 minutes or so is share with you what I believe are some of the most important tips, as well as some very specific scripts that you can use. And as Stacy correctly indicated, a lot of people ask me and Stacy and other leaders each day, what are some of the things that you say to open a discussion with Solavei, to introduce Solavei to people that you run into when you're out and about in your everyday activities? But my mind has always been a little bit logical, some would say too logical. But I believe in preparation, and I believe in preparing our minds and preparing ourselves, because preparation meets opportunity. I should say opportunity arises when we're prepared. And so I believe that first and foremost, we have to decide. There is great power in making a decision. And deciding we're going to do this business, do it effectively, do it big, do it powerfully, is one of the most important decisions I think each of us can make. You know, Stacy talked about the Hawaii qualifications and the new qualification that just opened up last week. Well, ladies and gentlemen, each and every one of you listening to me and Stacy on this call tonight literally have the opportunity to qualify and be in Hawaii with the leadership of this company. It's all about making a decision and then following up with the power of that decision and taking massive action each and every day. Now, next is fear. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've been frozen by fear in my life. In fact, in this business of sharing whatever it is we're sharing with people, I've been stuck by fear. But I've also learned a powerful lesson. The only way to truly overcome fear is to plow right through it, and it'll go away. In fact, one of my very favorite quotes by Ralph Waldo Emerson is simply, do the thing you fear to do, and the death of that fear is certain. Do the thing you fear to do, and the death of that fear is certain. And guys, I literally have experienced the evaporation of the fear of talking to people or picking up the phone and calling people about whatever it is I've been doing over the years. And I've literally felt the fear evaporate from my chest. And it's a good feeling. And the more you keep doing it and you keep going, it becomes second nature to the extent that there is no fear. You feel the power and empowerment behind your voice, behind your words, and the confidence just grows. So guys, any of you feeling that fear, just go right through it and get it done. I want to mention a little something about scripts. Stacy and I have talked about scripts. I think it's fair to say neither one of us likes scripts. So why do I have this here? Well, guys, scripting is important only to the extent of getting yourself prepared. When you know what to say, when you have options of what to say in different situations when they arise, well, then you're prepared. But the important thing about a script is to simply learn the words and then convert it to yourself. Make it personal. A couple things, be natural. Keep it simple. Any chance you have an opportunity to meet somebody or when you're talking to somebody, always work on your rapport with that person. Build rapport. And the last thing I want to say on this page is be very clear in your mind and your heart as to who you're looking for. And I think the most simple yet most powerful judge of, if you will, of what I'm looking for in people is simply people just like me. Now think about that for a second. When you first heard the message of Solavei, didn't you get it like immediately? Didn't you resonate with that message? So the bottom line is you're looking for people just like you. I'm looking for people like me. I'm looking for people who, when they see and hear the vision of Solavei, they get it, and they're excited about it. They have a vision of what they can do with this business, and they're ready to get going. They may not know exactly how to, but they love it, and they're ready to get started. Well, guys, we love everybody that we talk to, but relative to our business endeavors of building a Solavei business, you really just want to focus on people just like you who get it. Let's go to the next slide, Stacy.
You know, Gary, real quick, I want to say, when I think of when you say the word script, like immediately I go, I don't want to be that company. And
Right.
really, Solavei is not that company. Solavei is, give us a year where we're past all of those of you who are on this call tonight. You are like, you've been involved in something. You're really seeing this as an escape. You really see this as a potential, quote unquote, opportunity. But really, that's not what Solavei is being created to be. It's being created to be a simple share. And eventually, that's what we want it to get to, so that you're not having to figure out what to say. You just look at people and say, hey, how much you spending for your cell phone bill? And it's that simple, because your confidence in who the brand of Solavei is becomes so high. And that fear really does go away of just connecting with people, asking them about, what they're utilizing for mobile service. I had a fear, Gary, of snakes at one point, and you said something about do the thing you fear and the fear will evaporate.
Right.
Well, I had a fear of snakes. So what I did is I went wild boar hunting in the swamps of Mississippi, where water moccasins are everywhere. And, of course, we didn't take guns. We used I'm sorry for all of those that you are animal activists, because this was a pig that needed to die. But we went wild boar hunting, and we went in there, and we made it humane. We didn't take guns. We took ropes, and these dogs, who absolutely, they're bulldogs, they live to hunt. And, of course, we get in there, and you hold the dogs back. You don't let them go. And they just bark, 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 and then they get scent of a boar, and you can hear this squealing and then the barking. Well, in the meantime, you have to go through these swamps of snakes. And one thing I noticed, Gary, to your point, those things are just as afraid of me as I was of them. They slithered away. It was disgusting. I still don't know that I really like them, but they slithered away. Somebody killed one for me so I could, look at it. And it was an incredible experience. We did get the boar, by the way. We ended up roping it after the dogs caught it. We roped it, stuck it on a stick, took it back, and they ended up fattening it up for about a month, and they had good cooked food with it. But the great thing about it was it really did lessen my fear, because I saw it. And that's what Gary's talking about here, is the thing you fear the most, which everybody knows the number one fear in the world is not snakes, it's not dying, it's public speaking. It's being able to talk to people because you wonder, what are they going to think about me? What if I fail? What if I make a mistake? So awesome examples, Gary. Let's scroll down here, because I know you tapped into some of the other top leaders in the company and what they knew was working for them as well. So tell us about Jerry Foster.
Great story, by the way, Stacy. I love it. You always have amazing story, and you surprise the heck out of me with the stuff you do and have done. You're so amazing.
Yeah, I'll have to make a video next time I go out boar hunting.
Boar hunting with snakes. That's a good one. That's opposite. Stacy is spot on, guys. What we have is so powerful in its simplicity. There's really no selling to do. So get rid of any fears, because, guys, take your sales hat off. There's nothing to sell. Solavei is offering a powerful value proposition. We're offering an opportunity to simply invite somebody to transfer where they're spending money on their on their cell bill, significantly higher than what we offer at Solavei. And ultimately, all we're doing is asking people to transfer over to Solavei and thus save money. So in the process of preparing for tonight's very brief presentation, I did take the chance to talk to a couple of the other members of the 12. And I talked to Jerry Foster today, wonderful guy, public speaker. He's actually a sales professional, but just a downright wonderful guy, personable, very natural. When you speak to him, you just feel like you're sitting at home in front of the fire whenever you're talking to Jerry Foster. And I love what he had to say. He said, Gary, I keep it simple and I keep it natural. And if I feel the opportunity to bring up Solavei, what I'll simply say is, hey, I don't need an hour of your time, but in 5 minutes I can show you how to be making money from your cell phone instead of paying money for your cell phone. Do you have 5 minutes? And then in a very brief, simple manner, he'll explain what Solavei is, and then invite him to take a look at the video. And again, it's just, he makes it natural, he makes it himself. So when you look at this quote-unquote script, all right, write down the words, get clear on the words, but then make it yourself, because that's really what scripting is all about. It's making it simple, making it natural, making it you, because ultimately you're just simply presenting an opportunity for somebody to save some money. It's not about selling, it's about inviting. Let's go to the next screen and take a look at what Brian from Idaho had to say. I talked to Brian Pickett. He actually sent me an email And I love Brian's approach because, you know, this is a scenario that all of us are involved with almost every day. We go out to dinner, we go to lunch, we sit down with family, friends, we interact with people throughout the day, and we live in a day and age where the cell phone is it's attached to us. Who do you see that doesn't have a cell phone anymore? It's kind of uncommon not to see us without our cell phones. So we have ample opportunity to ask a few simple questions whenever we see somebody using their phone, like, hey, what does your cell phone cost you each month? They'll give you an answer. You know, the average cost that we just read the other day from the Wall Street Journal actually, is over $100 a month now. So you pretty well know what the answer is going to be when you ask this question. After they give you the answer, just say, hey, well, talk to me before you renew your contract when it comes up. Don't say anything else. Just leave it at that. Well, what's that going to do? Their mind's going to start turning and immediately ask you a question, well, why? And that's where you have an opportunity to very simply share the definition of what Solavei is. And I encourage you to simply invite them to the videos. Use the tools. Like Stacy very properly defined at the beginning of this conversation, is Solavei is all about using the technology that we have at our fingertips. And one of the things that I absolutely love about Solavei, and this is a tribute to the vision and power of this company, and that is they understand the power of using third-party tools, in our case, videos. We've got wonderful new commercials that are coming out, it seems like every day lately. We've got a powerful 6-minute video from Ryan that explains powerfully the whole story of what Solavei is. And for those who are ready for more information, send them on to the 39-minute video. Let these tools literally do all of the, shall we say, heavy lifting and presenting for us. Now, guys, I want to share with you in closing the money script. And this is based on tried and tested, powerfully psychologically proven techniques of inviting to these tools. And what I typically do is I ask the question when it gets to this point in the conversation, it always happens naturally. I ask, if I give you a link to a short 7-minute video, will you watch it? Every single time I get the answer, well, sure. Then I set a specific time, I get an idea when they can watch it, and then I set a very specific time when I can follow up. And guys, this is very critical. There is a very good reason why the statement is the fortune is in the follow-up. Because following up with people and following up on time when you say you'll call lets that person know that A, you're serious, and B, you respect their time and who they are as a person. So set a time to follow up, call them on time every time, get their reaction to the video. If they haven't watched it, ask when they can watch it, and then set another time when you call them. Bottom line is you're going to follow up and ask what their thinking is or feeling is from the video and invite them to the next tool. Again, set up a follow-up time, call them on time, and you will have a very clear sense as you do this. And more of this, you'll understand how this process works. You'll know when they're ready to go. You'll know if they're not interested or if it's not a good time for them. You'll know if they're just like you and they get it and they're excited about it. And you'll naturally know when to ask them to simply get started in Solavei. And I encourage you to simply ask the question or make the statement, hey, let's get started. It's as simple as that, guys. That's really all I had to share with you tonight. I know this is going to be recorded, and I encourage you guys to write these things down if you haven't already. I also encourage you to go to YouTube, go to other places, and search out invitation scripts or inviting scripts. There's numerous places where you can go to learn that. And again, it's only to get prepared so that you can make something very easy and natural for yourself to know what to say in various situations. But really, when it comes right down to it, the message of Solavei is powerful in its simplicity. So keep it simple, keep it natural, keep it yourself, and as they go through the process, guys, have no fear, but ask them to get started. And you'll be surprised how easy it is and how fun this business is as people join you and lock arms with you and rock the world with Solavei. Well, guys, when I first heard the story of Solavei, literally within minutes of understanding the power of what we have, I knew this company was going to go worldwide. And that is my vision, that this company is going to, that Solavei is going to develop a fantastic and powerful foundation here in the United States, but it's going to be much bigger as we go worldwide with this. So, guys, my name is Gary Craig. Happy to be with you, and I'm Solavei. Thanks, Stacy.
Oh, I love
Back
it,
to you.
Gary. Great ending statement. That is awesome. Well, I look at this and I think that, right here you had made a statement. I hope you guys can see my cursor there. That, when you want to invite them to the next video, I want to add something in there real quick because I know a number of you, in fact, I had a couple of questions come in this week. What do I say after they've seen the video? What do I say to them? And I love all of this flow that Gary has done here. And that one question where he says, ask them what they thought about it. Here's a great question to ask that leads them into giving you a positive response. Because if you call them and say, did you like the video? Well, that's a yes or no answer. And there's one thing in sales. I know Ryan Wirch, he doesn't want us to have to think, and it's not. The Solavei is simple. But for those of you who have been in it a little bit and you're going, okay, wait a minute, I'm just overcoming my fears and all of that, well, there's a few tips you can do to get past that. And one of the questions that's been proven to be the number one closing question, and it's a psychological behavior. You want to avoid a yes or a no, and you want to lead people into a greater conversation. Because ideally, they say it takes anywhere from 7 to 20 touches online for somebody to actually convert. Well, obviously, we would all like the one-click conversion. But until we get there, and we're constantly setting up systems, I know that we've got a number of teams that have got numerous online systems being tested right now. I'm not one to use you to test our systems. I want to make sure we test the systems, and then we're going to continue to develop them and give them to you when we feel that they are truly going to give you the best conversions. Well, one of the questions that you can ask, and you all need to write this down, when they see the video, you call them back. Here's what you want to say. Hey, Tina. Did you take a look at the video? Yeah, I did. Great. What did you like most about what you saw? That's the question. What did you like most about what you saw? That question right there leads them to give you a positive response and also tells you where to go next. Now, those of you know that our CEO, Ryan Wirch's wife, was Miss America. Pretty phenomenal accomplishment. Those gals are not just pretty women. They're highly intelligent, and they're trained in the skill of interview and how to take a question and lead the judge into the question they want to answer next. Well, that's exactly what you do in sales, is when somebody is sitting there, you want to make sure you lead them through the conversation of what we call the close or engagement, leading people into that member experience with Solavei. Gary, that is phenomenal, and I know that we've got on that, somebody just sent in the question, I can't find the Massive Action Plan. Go to empoweredliving.biz, and at the bottom of the front page, the home page, there's a little square that says What's Next, Getting Started. Click on that, and you can download it. And there's actually a script in there, real simple connection, something like this. Hey, Tracy, have you heard about Solavei? No. Well, it's a brand new social commerce network that pays members to share value with others. I'd love to send you a 6-minute video and let you take a look at it. What's a good email for me to send it to? It's real short. It's real simple. Just like Gary said, you want to say as little as possible, and boom, you want to get them into that outreach manager, those tools that are available. So let's pop over and finish our presentation here this evening. With our Sunday F5 stretch, we've got 8 minutes, and I'm going to tell you guys that our F5 stretch every week is very personal, and tonight I'm going to tell you why. The F5 for me is very, very special and very personal, and there's a reason why I've got a big, massive F5 tornado in the background there. A number of years ago, my grandfather and my grandmother, they lived in Oklahoma, and of course you guys know Oklahoma is Tornado Alley. And they had a beautiful home that was attached to their church. They were missionaries, and they had a Bible college that raised up missionaries and sent them out. And there was bad weather and all this reports about massive tornadoes, numerous tornadoes, like 60 tornadoes or something like that had touched down. And so all of their electricity went out. And my grandpa went out to the car while my grandmother was inside, went out to the car to see if he could get the radio to turn on. And when he turned on the radio that was very distorted, he heard the alarm going off on the radio, and then he heard the sound of a train. And he realized that the tornado was right upon him. So he ran inside and he screamed out to my grandmother, whose name was Lydia, Lydia, get in the bathroom, get in the bathroom. So they ran to the middle of the building, and it was the bathroom, and then right across the hall was my grandfather's, what he called his office, his Bible room, all the countries that he had ministered to. He had artifacts and Bibles from all these different countries. So those two rooms were beside each other, and they hid in the shower while this massive massive F5 tornado that was like 1.5 miles wide, massive tornado swept through their building. Took everything, sucked everything away from that foundation and everything out of it, and left only 2 rooms. And I know you can imagine which 2 rooms it was, the one that my grandma and grandpa were in and that Bible room. And it was a modern-day miracle. All the news came out and said there's no way, because it would have required the tornado to split. But what was even more amazing, of course, we were eternally grateful for the saving of their lives and that they weren't hurt. They had just incredible stories, like plates that were in their china cabinet that were picked up, and one plate was moved 2 miles, and it was Royal Albert, so it was a very special, rare type of china, 2 miles away, and landed on someone else's counter untouched. So crazy things that happen with the force of a tornado. Now, you might think really negative things, but that hit me when we were young. But what was amazing about it was shortly thereafter, Discovery Channel was able to do readings on that F5 tornado. It was the first time that they were able to get the Doppler readings like they had never had before. And what they found was, even though it looked like this massive tornado, on the inside of the tornado were 5 vortices that were perfectly flowing in harmony to create massive, massive power. And it created this huge wall. But really on the inside, it was unity working in perfection. And that F5 message to me is about what happens when people come together with one voice, one cause, and one mission. You can create something bigger than yourself. You can truly tap into something that leaves an imprint on the landscape of the world around you, that it can't be stopped by man and it can't be started by man. It's really bigger than you. But more importantly, you know where it's been, because it's really like a revolution. It changes everything. And so when I say this is our F5 stretch, I want you to think about becoming that chaseable. You know, I love watching movies like Twister and Storm Chasers, because there's something about a storm. There's something about chasing a storm. You want to see it. You want to be close to it. Well, I believe this is a perfect opportunity for your life to become that magnetic, that people want to know what you're doing. They follow you on Facebook. They follow you on Twitter. They want to be a part of everything you're a part of because of your energy, your excitement, your positivity, and because of the imprint that you're leaving on the lives of those around you. So when we talk about your F5 stretch, it's about taking you out of your comfort zone. You know, the most powerful part of the tornado is not the outskirts. It's not where people are on the outside looking in. It's those who take it and they risk to go to the core. And in the core is something called the suck zone. The core of the suck zone, yes, there's peace, but there's also power. And I know it's not suck like your life sucks. It's truly where you become magnetic. And so I want to stretch you every week. I'm going to constantly ask you to do more maybe than you've been doing. The first thing I want to ask you to do in this week's F5 stretch is I want you to go to facebook.com/empoweredlivingbiz, and I want you to post when you get your trio this week. I want everybody to get out of their comfort zone this week. I'm doing it every week. You guys are going to watch it on the leaderboards. You're going to see my numbers going up because I'm not going to ask you to do something that I'm not doing myself. And I want us all this week to go out and make a purpose that we're going to get 3 people to switch to Solavei mobile service. And then we're going to post about it. I'm going to do the same thing. Now, yesterday's trios don't count. This starts today going forward. So we want to post it. As soon as you get yours, post it in empoweredliving.biz. We'll be able to see all those threads on the right-hand side. The second thing is that's going to help you bump your fab. So the goal is not to stop at 3. We want to go ahead this month, for the month of October, everybody get 12, and teach those 12 to do the same. A trio a week is a fab a month. Now, you guys know you only get the fast action bonus your first 60 days. But that is a great method to begin teaching. That's what we did from day one, is we told people get 12 and help other people do the same. And the more you stay consistent with that, the geometric progression is massive. Now, you guys know that I think the direct sales industry has an average of just over 2 people that people actually bring in to their quote-unquote business. Well, that's because they're selling auto ships and lotions and potions and pills and things that people really could get for less. That's not what we're doing here. We're saving people on mobile service. Every month, their only payment they have to make is $49 a month. So we believe that you're going to be able to increase those numbers, and I truly believe you can get 12. So post your trio, bump your fab, and then number 3, build for Tulsa. That's our first I Am stop on the tour. I promise you there's going to be recognition at these I Am Solavei tour events. There are going to be parties, there are going to be live vision presentations, and you are going to want to show up with new business. And so do that between now and Tulsa. Get your fab, get your trios, and truly be engaged between now and then so that when you get to that Tulsa event, you truly, and those of you who aren't even in the area of Tulsa, my encouragement to you is put some focus on that area. Maybe contact some people you know there. Do what you can do. And certainly those of you who are in a 3-hour driving radius, you need to be in Tulsa. You need to be driving towards that event, making some phone calls and doing what you can do to use every single stop on this tour to build your business. Very excited tonight and want to thank you for being a part of our webinar, our Team Huddle webinar again. Again, bringing you meat, bringing you training tips, bringing you updates from corporate. And again, this week we're going to bring you some more information. Tuesday we have our FAQ call at 9 a.m. That's our top frequently asked questions. We'll have Maria and Rudy a part of that because they're always going to give us the updates that we need to stay in the zone of constantly moving forward. And then Thursday, it is not Blog It training. That is a mistake on my slide. But Thursday, we will have training at 6 p.m. I'll let you guys know, all of you who are on that list of empoweredliving.biz. If you're not, it's open to everybody. Get on that list. I'll be sending up a follow-up to this call, this webinar. You will also be able to see this webinar posted within the next 24 hours. We'll have it up on empoweredliving.biz under the video tab. And again, make sure you go there, and you can also check out last week's Blog It training. You'll also be able to see other tools that we're going to have available. And very soon, we'll have the podcast available as well. So again, thank you, everyone. Remember, now is the time. This is the place. And you are the ones that will start this revolution. My name is Stacey Wallace, and I am believing the best for you. Good night, everyone.